Alright, so in this one, what we are going to be doing here is my 5th year anniversary predictions. Now, we are about, 14 days out from anniversary actually beginning, and that means we're probably going to go get leaks within a week because, this purple Majin Vegeta got leaked last anniversary, right? But, in all reality, we probably will get some information. They did do a, trailer thing, the whole, producer letter, whatever that thing was, right? They're even putting some things in the news about anniversary. They're mentioning anniversary to us every day on the countdown here. Even more so, they added something with some stuff. Wait, actually, yeah, they added like some equipment thing, some Zenny thing. I mean, they added some quality life things, right? Which is nice, to be fair. And by the way, the stuttering, I personally, what I did, I reset my phone, and since then, when I played on stream at least, when I, did do that, I didn't get any stuttering. So I don't know if that fixes it. I'm just saying, I reset my phone, just turned it on and off, then I streamed, and then it worked. I'm just pointing out that could be the fix. It shouldn't have to be that way to be a fix. It shouldn't happen in general. I'm just saying that could be a fix. But while we're looking at Legends first, before I actually go into my predictions, it's because I do think this obviously plays a role, right? Even more so, that one thing here, I always forget to turn this off, even though it doesn't matter, is that you try to look at how the anniversary essentially was last year and maybe try to go off some patterns, right? Because seemingly they're going to do the same concept where they do one banner, one banner, one banner. So it's going to be 3 parts, 1 banner each part, with it being a heavy 1% unit, maybe some, EX units sprinkled onto those LF banners as well. Even looking back a year prior, it was obviously different, where it's going to be this whole big part, then there's like maybe a part 2, maybe not. With 3rd year, second year anniversary was just all one thing. The 1st year was all one thing. So clearly they're going in this methodology because they did it for Legends Fest, where it's like one banner, one banner, one banner, right? LF, LF, Ultra. Now the thing is, for this year, I'm really trying to figure it out, and I think I've kind of cracked the code here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just completely, fucked in the head and, incorrect. But I guess we'll see in a couple weeks, right? At least for part 1. What I'm thinking is they will have a similar units/theme. So what happened last year was MUI, then Dragfist, then USV. So how the fuck do these all tie in? Well, let me try to explain what goes on here. So Goku, MUI, very good at representation, fits on the logo very cleanly. So that being the first one to come out, makes sense. Dragon Fist, I know they said the iconic scene, there's a bunch, FSK, iconic, Super Saiyan 3, normal, from the Buu Saga, iconic, but nonetheless, they said an iconic scene. But what tied them together was clearly that they're both Goku, right? Maybe they don't even flow together as great. I mean, they could, red-green, right, technically, but they're not meant to flow together. They're meant to be one of movies. Here's Tapion, Dragon Fist, put him here. Here's MUI, the shitty top Vegeta, put him here. Run with AGF, blah, 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 blah. We had USS buffs prior, put him over there. And then USV. So what I think is that part 1 and 2 will have correlation to one another. Then part 3 will be completely outlandish, have no correlation, have no synergistic manner of anything going with part 1 and 2. Okay? We on the same page? Alright, great. Because now you're going to be like, what the hell is he smoking when he says these? But we will get into it. So what I think part 1 will be is Goku Frieza. I think this is a very easy part 1 prediction. I think a lot of people have been predicting this because you think, well, actually carry a celebration as hype-wise. Goku Frieza is easily one of the things. Usually fusions would be at the end of celebration. We'll get to there when we get to part 3, because I do think there will be 3 parts once again, as I've been saying. But I do think Goku Frieza is a clear candidate. Clearly, I'm referring to this scene of Goku Frieza where they fight together. This would obviously be a very nice 5th Annie logo for the anniversary of the game. And I do think this would be a nice little sequence of big buffs. MUI gave quite a bit of big buffs, where it was Sun Family, God Key, USS, and then that's 3 tags, right? That's not too bad. LOE would be a buff here. Sun Family be a buff here. You would get Uni-Reps buff. That's 3 tags once again, right? So we get a similar sequence to that. And it does seem, I'm not really sure the mannerism of this. They do Uni-Rep buffs per download celebrations and then anniversary. I don't think we've ever had a Uni-Rep buff where it's just like, okay, here's Legends Fest, or like, here's this or that. Like, last Legends Fest, we got no Uni-Rep buffs. But you got anniversary prior to, and then even before that, every single download celebration, the 60, 70, 80, 50, 40, they're all USS buffs. So it's either anniversaries or download celebrations. And lo and behold, we're approaching an anniversary. I do think this makes the most sense for iconism, for like goddamn Super Saiyan Goku. That's obviously going to sell well. I think he has a marketing perspective as well. It's Goku. It's going to be somebody that we all know, right? So, shockingly, it's going to be Goku as the logo for it. And then if it's on Frieza, well, that's even cooler. People like seeing Frieza. They like seeing, maybe not them team up, because that was fucking strange, but it happened. They like seeing these two characters, very much icons of Dragon Ball, essentially. So they would just sell well. I think this is an easy part 1. But now part 2. Again, I do think part 1 and 2 will have correlation. I do not think it's a heavy, strong correlation. And I think part 3 will be very far out there. It might have one similar tag to all these units, or maybe just like to part 1 or part 2. But what I think part 2 is, and we might be spoiling a little bit here, I think there's 2 options. I think it's going to be God Toppo or LF Kefla. Now hear me out. Once again, a uni-rep buff. I do think they want to stay in the lane of just buffing this same archetype of a tag for these 2 LF units. And by the way, I do think there will be 1% units on these banners. I'm not thinking about them because I don't know how I could predict a 1% unit of uni-rep buffs. There's a lot of characters. Maybe it could be like a 1% hit from here, or like whoever doesn't have a card yet. Kaba, I'm sure, doesn't have something, right? Caulifla doesn't really have many, like, good sparkings, right? So we can maybe get characters of those natures and something of that, area. I mean, Vegeta's, for fuck's sake. Like, give me a base form Tournament Power Vegeta where he was getting his ass beat at the end, right? Give me something like that. Nonetheless, I do think Toppo fits this mold. Again, the concept of they do have a shared tag and not really meant to be run together, maybe, because, one's strike-based, or one's meant to be X or this. Maybe that Goku Frieza's a tag unit, or there's some dumb revival assist thing. Who knows, right? Not going into the details of it, just the units I do expect from it. And it would be God Toppo giving, actually more so than that, of a uni-rep buff, another God Key buff, which is kind of the vein I'm thinking of with their care for this. More vast array of buffs, because God Toppo makes more sense to me than Kefla, because okay, we're not just buffing Sun Family and LOE and uni reps. No, now we're buffing God Key. Okay, so now you're gonna be forced to summon on X banner or X banner because X buff or X buff. It's meant to make you have a dilemma of where you're supposed to summon. That's what part 2 is supposed to do. Waste your CC before part 3 and that inevitable ultra, right? And now, again, the other option would obviously be a Kefla, whether it be Super Saiyan, what the fuck, okay. Whether it be Super Saiyan Kefla, Base Kefla, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, it doesn't matter. Obviously, it would all be the same concept there. Would be a fusion buff. I do think Legends is hard-pressed on the concept of they must do a fusion buff every anniversary, and this would fit their agenda of every single anniversary, though every single anniversary does have a Vegito. I do think this would fit their concept of, hey, every single anniversary at least has a fusion buff, and this would fit that. So this could obviously be a alternative option to God Toppo. This even could be a 1% on God Toppo's banner, or vice versa. God Toppo's 1% on the Kefla banner. But I do think this is obviously a strong option, as fusions are always getting buffs left and right during big celebrations, whether it be festival or anniversary. Fusions make money. This would be pretty good bait. This would be better bait than Toppo. But both units would have to be cracked regardless, because they're not necessarily that hype. Kind of like Dragon Fist. I know some people like that scene from Dragon Fist, but compare MUI to Dragon Fist, people just did not care about Dragon Fist as much. Though he was, I won't say he was better, but I would say he was more set up to be successful, because he had, you have Tournament Power Vegeta and MUI. What the fuck is that? That's not a team, right? But you have Tapion and Dragon Fist. It's like, oh, well, I'm pretty much set up to just win everything, right? You just kind of slap on a third, whether it be Revhan or whoever the hell else you had at that point. Just slapped on a third. You were fine. You had a, boom, team build. So what they probably do here is, okay, here's a Kefla, here's a God Toppo, run those two together, and then bada bing, bada boom, you got that third who already exists, whether it be a God Key character, you're leading the Kefla, whether it be a full uni-rep team, and it's all strike-based, God Toppo, Kefla, and Hit. That's all strike-based. They're trying to have you build part 2, where your team's already made for you. The part 1's supposed to be that big, cha-ching, you into spent on the banner because it's Goku Frieza, they're very hype. Maybe they're not the best, but they're very hype. Part 2 is meant to be the good banner, the good bait. We don't know how it'll age. Look at Dragon Fist. Lo and behold, he aged like complete dog shit. But it's meant to be the better of the two, right? And now, part 3, I think it is going to be FSK. Like I said, I do not think Part 3 will have any correlation with Part 1 and 2. And if you want to stretch that, yes, USV had correlation because he's a Saiyan, that's a little bit kind of a reach. Yes, it's true. I won't deny that's true. I don't think that matters. It's not like you were thinking of USV like, oh yeah, I'm going to run it with MUI Dragon Fist. That was a culpable team because they were all on boost, and they were all broken on boost, and that, honestly, that team wasn't very good, but it was a culpable team back then, right? And you could do the same thing here. Let's say it's Goku Frieza. Let's say it's Kefla. Let's say it's FSK. Okay, you just saw the Kefla. Bada bing, bada boom. Gohan Sun Family Z ability on his Ultra ability. Then you just throw that trio together. You could do the same exact thing here. So I don't think that has any correlation with it because they all had one tag. I just think FSK is due. It feels very strange. We got a Majin Buu Saga based, celebration, and then we got no Gohan representation. We got Goku, we got Vegeta, we got Buu, we got whatever else from there. I mean, a lot of forms of Buu, but, we got a lot of Buu, right? Which, that's the main thing. But Gohan does a lot. I mean, Gohan is quite literally carrying it at some point because Vegeta's dead. Goku's fucking dipped, at this rate. He's like, oh, back to fucking hell or heaven I go, wherever the fuck he went. I fucking forget at this point. It's 5 a.m. around 4 a.m. I'm recording this. Everyone's fucking gone. They can't even fucking tell, like, Supreme Kai who, bro got fucking murdered by Buu. He just fucking beat his ass. Babidi's gonna die because fucking Buu. Like, all these motherfuckers are dying, and Gohan's the only one, and we didn't get any Gohan representation from that fight of Super Buu, of anything that he did in the entire arc, and yet, again, this character was the strongest character, solo character, of the entire show at one point, and it's like, he got no rep. I think they didn't do his Ultra because they have to do the iconism first. What I mean by this is that, you know how we got Namek Goku as the first Goku Ultra? Do you think if they did MUI or UI Sign, it would make much sense? No, because you have the icon of the show. What's the most iconic thing to Dragon Ball? Super Saiyan. Goku going Super Saiyan is the most iconic thing. What's the second? This. That's why they skipped a Gohan for the Ultra Majin Buu Saga character. It could have easily been a Gohan. I thought Gohan would have been the LF, because that just would have made sense. Not having him be the Ultra makes sense as well, because again, you need the hypest scene from that character to be the first one. You know why? Because that's what you get the money from. And they want that money, right? I do think this character could easily happen. The more reasoning being, if we get a fusion, then that does the fusion buff agenda that they have every anniversary of Celebration. And that's fine. That's what Kefla is meant for. Give the agenda. Let the agenda happen. Great. Part 2 is awesome. Then this, it makes so much sense to me why we didn't get an Ultra Ultimate Gohan or fucking any Gohan buff during the Majin Buu Saga campaign if this Gohan comes to the game. I don't think anything makes more synergy to me for those campaigns to be, or rather that campaign and this celebration to be so weird in like the drops, because again, that Goku Vegeta, while it is a good moment and it's like a very cool moment, it doesn't need the rep it just got. We have that rep. We don't have any Ultimate Gohan rep. We have one green Ultimate Gohan from DBZ. That's it. We have nothing. And the Majin Buu Saga campaign didn't give us that. It just makes me think, like, sirens going off my fucking brain. We have to be getting FSK. I mean, that's just me. Obviously, I'm not in the boat where everyone's thinking the same thing here. I think a lot of people are thinking somebody else, and I'll mention them. But I think with the campaign, it just feels so easy to do this. And I hope they do it because, once again, I don't want another Ultra that's a fusion, personally speaking. I would much prefer, yes, hybrids, I know, they're spooky, scary, they're fucking demons. Gohan every year rules the game, I get it. It's a fucking tragedy. It's the game, right? I just don't want another Ultra Fusion. But, to mention the Ultra Fusion, clearly, this is an option that everyone is thinking. Everyone is already saying, like, oh, you guys ready for Red Ultra Vegeta Blue? Firstly, I'd want this Ultra to be blue because we haven't got a blue Ultra since USG. Please, dear God, don't be red. We just got hit. We don't need another. Please, hit's good. We all know hit's good at this point, right? Don't give us another Red Ultra. Dear fucking Kid Buu's already getting hurt by hit. We ain't gotta do another fucking dirty, especially because this guy's gonna sell him for a lot if he does come out. Clearly, Vegeta Blue is a hype character again. Every single anniversary, first year, LF Super Vegeta, second year, we got LF Vegito Blue. Third year, we got the purple Vegito Blue. Fourth year, we got Ultra Super Vegito. And then fifth year, another Vegito, right? Obviously, that could be a thing that happens. But again, my copium is that the fusion buff would be a Kefla, or just ignore fusions for a little bit. They'll be okay. Don't worry. They'll get a big celebration in 6 months. They'll be good again. Don't mind them. They'll be fine. Obviously, this is an option, though. I gotta mention it because everyone's gonna think about it. But I do hope that they do try something a little bit different instead of a fusion every single year. And if I were to compare, in all honesty, the iconic nature of just FSK, Father Son Kamehameha Gohan, and the comparison to Vegito Blue, FSK probably sells a lot more. Because when I think of Dragon Ball, I think Super Saiyan Goku, I think Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then I think Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That's what I think of. I don't think of Gogeta. I'm sure they're afterthoughts, right? They're definitely things I think of in the later, but I think of Super Vegito. I think of Super Gogeta. I think of Vegeta. I think of all these things a little bit before I think of Vegito Blue. Again, I'm thinking of FSK as the number 2 thing when I think of, hey, what's up my mind in Dragon Ball? Goku, Gohan. That's what I'm thinking of. And then I think of what moments. All right, Super Saiyan 2. It just makes more sense to me that it'd be a Gohan if they want their bang for their buck. I say that, then they sold an Ultra Kid Buu, which clearly the Buu duo would have sold a lot better as an Ultra than the LF could have been Kid Buu. But nonetheless, I mean, it could have been any Buu, but it could have been Kid Buu, yes. So maybe they don't care about money in that aspect, or they just are ignorant to it. Who knows? But assuming they're not, and assuming they do want to make money from their big celebration, I know it's a crazy concept, I think FSK makes more sense. I would prefer that, as it would be a different thing, because we have Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Gogeta Blue, Ultra Super Vegito. We have a lot of Ultras that are already fusions. We don't need many more, especially with it being the same character twice now. We already had that with Gogeta. Do we really need that for Vegito? Are we really there at that point? We have a lot of characters we could do for Ultras, right? Kind of like Gohan. A little bit more important than Vegito. A little bit. That is my anniversary predictions. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you think these are what is coming to the game? Once again, part 1 being a Goku Frieza, part 2 being a God Toppo or Kefla, then part 3 being an Ultra FSK. Part 1 and 2 obviously being LS. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys in the next one.